So the first thing we want to do is set the trim up. So the big trim wheel on the left is the nose, or the elevation trim. And so what we want to do is bring it around till we see the small white circle on it in that location. And that is the elevation trim. And so when the arm and the trim gauge is on the notch just above the center, then it's the right one. Let's bring it up a tiny bit actually. The second one, so I just got a little bit of spit content all right then. The second one is the water, what's behind it. And what you want to do is see when the port is about there and the groove above the port is shiny just like that. So, excuse me. So that's the trim sorted out. Then we want to get the elevation, or the elevation, what am I saying? The altitude set to 0 feet. Because by having it at 0 feet, it's on the same level as the ground we're on now, or the airbase now. So now, at this point, we want to open the starter and booster coil covers there, because they're important. And from that, we want to unscrew the primer, flip up the main fuel gauge lever up to the on position, move the throttle forwards because it's going to knock the switch underneath it forwards, bring back the throttle right back. The way you know it's done by the undercarriage downlight is lit up, and the small little red circle next to the fuel gauge here will be on. Let me just send the view. There we go. So, to get fuel ready for the aircraft, we have to go to the primer and pull it back 5 times. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Turn on magneto 1. The both magnetos 1 and 2 on. Put the RPM lever all the way to the forward position. So we primed it 5 times. We got the RPM lever all the way forwards and magnetos 1 and 2 on, and also the trim sorted out. Yeah. The thing is, we have to put the pressure up enough for the engine to roll over. There's 2 ways. The easiest way is by the wobble fuel tank pump lever on the right. You have to pull it 5 to 10, not 5 times. I meant to say 10 times. Yet, right here under the elevation trim, there's a fuel pump on and off. By putting it on, you can hear a slight humming sound, what means the fuel pump is on. At that point, we're ready to start the engine up. So let's go into the tower and get permission to start. Echo 11, calling tower, request startup.
Echo 11, this is Tower. You have permission to start up.
Okay, we got permission to start now. So we need to push the booster coil and the stars buttons together, then push the mixture lever forwards. And with that, let me just grab the stick. That's the outer stick. This I forgot to. There we go. Pull it towards me. And realised I need to click it back onto the game, and there we go. I thought, hang on, why isn't it working? There we know. So, at this point, I want to pull the stick back and pull the lever for the brakes. And that sounds there means there's enough pressure in the aircraft for the brakes. So, lever or the stick all the way back, brakes on. Now we push the throttle, not the throttle. Yeah, that's one thing I forgot. Throttle a tiny bit forwards, so there'll be enough fuel going to the engine. Now starter and booster. And the mixture now. Now that's running, we can give it a little bit of power now. And there we go. Stick it back to neutral and brakes off. Ooh, brakes back on. Wait, now I've got the navigation on and the gun sight, because I use the gun sight for level flying and also for formation flying when I'm doing it with friends of mine. So now let's go in for taxiing. Echo 1-1 to tower. Request taxiing to one-way.
Request Qantas, taxi to runway 25 Old Shores at Alpha.
Okay, now we've got permission to taxi to runway 25, and short stop of Alpha was just to the right of us. Let's pull up the knee bar and jack. Yep, Alpha is right there. So let's give it a bit of power and use the brake on the stick, because there's no toe brakes in the Spitfire Mark 9. And here we go. Now we're always in short. Checking where's the left. Okay.
Echo 1-1, this is Sarah. Proceed to runway 25.
Okay. Tower just says we can proceed to the runway. Nope. No, it's a bit too far on the left there. Right, here we go. Now let's go in for permission to take off. And there we go. Tower, this is Echo 1-1. Request to take off.
Echo 1-1, takeoff Qantas, climb to 2,000 feet.
watch it, climb to 2,000 feet. And there we go, we're able to take off now. So now, what I like to do is close the canopy and bring the view down so I can see the camera. The camera? I meant to say the gun sight. Pull the sticker eye back to keep the tail down on the ground to hit 60 miles an hour. And here we go. Throttle running up. 60. Put the stick to halfway. And there we go. Hold the brake. Gear travelling. Okay, gears are up. Okay, we're climbing at 200 feet a minute. And we're coming up for 200 miles per hour. And now we're at 1,000 feet. Another 1,000 feet. Then we can start to bank to the left. Right, let me check the knee balls. There you go. 2,000 feet. Never out. And so let's call in for Lantern. Tower, this is Echo 1-1. Request Lantern.
Echo 1-1. Request Qantas as towards 07 for lineup.
07 Roger. And there we go. Let me just trim the aircraft out a tiny bit. And so now let's bank to... Ooh, yeah. Keep the nose on the horizon by all. There we go. And use the compass and the sensor, or the bearing gyro for the actual heading. There's errors in 09, 08, 07. At this point, we want to pull back on the throttle. And there's the airballs or the airplanes we just took off from. ease off the throttle quite a bit. There we go. We just passed the end of the runway. And so let's go in. Tower, this is Echo 1-1. Request landing.
Echo 1-1. Request to land Qantas. Turn on to final approach and enter the close loop.
Roger. Turning left to enter the close loop. Right, now we've got permission to go and land. Let's sort out the craft's trim a little bit more. And now we have to bank to the left. And now we have to start pulling back slightly on the throttle to bring the power down. Bank it a tiny bit more and pull. Right, flaps down, gears travelling, and make sure to catch the aircraft so it doesn't plummet all the way down. At this point, you need to pass the plane quite a bit to keep it flying and not nose diving down. And there we go. I normally add a tiny bit of brake, so it's out with landing tiny bit. At this point, you need to be a little bit careful on how you want to go and take this. I normally put in tiny micro adjustments to try and keep it on the centre line. And now we're getting close to landing. You want to pull up and let's make sure it's 3 points landing. Okay, and throw all the way back.
Echo 1-1. Taxi to parking, then shut down.
Watch it. Taxi to parking, then shutting down. Okay, now we've landed. We need to put the flips up. And there we go. Opening canopy, and now bring this up a tiny bit so I can see outside. And let's go to the grass. So let's start the shutdown procedures. So what we want to do is pull the mixture lever back. Right, there you go. Push the throttle forwards. And that's that. Bring back the undercarriage light switch to off. Pull the throttle back. Bring the RPM lever back. Turn off magneto 1 and 2. Then turn off the fuel pump. then you can go ahead and turn the gunsight off and the navigation light. And there we go. And there you have it. Thank you for watching the video. And take it easy. Bye.